try that again. I said, good evening.
Good evening.
Was that everybody?
No.
I spoke to everyone. I expect you to respond. I said, good evening.
Good evening.
That's better. Welcome to Williamsburg. Where are you from? Indiana. Indiana.
Yeah.
How long have you been in Williamsburg?
1 day.
Half a day. Have you been through the colonial town?
Oh, no. Tomorrow.
So when I say the 18th century, what time in history are we talking? 1700s. What people do you think of when you think about the colonial days? Colonists?
Indian.
Thomas Jefferson sound familiar?
Yeah.
Who else?
Ben Franklin.
Mr. Franklin, George Washington. Who else?
Adams.
Okay. Well, when you visit Williamsburg, you need to keep in mind that in the 18th century, 50% of its population were people of color. When you walk through Williamsburg, I want you to keep in mind that Williamsburg represents only 5 to 10% of how most Virginians are living, or people are living. 5 to 10% of the population lived like Williamsburg. Now, I don't know how much money your parents have, and I don't want to know, but in your mind, this was the criteria for being a person who would live like Williamsburg. Well, one, you owned slaves. But you owned slaves if you could afford slaves. The average person doesn't own slaves. To vote, you had to be at least 21, member of the Anglican Church, have 50 acres of land or more, white and male. Now, I don't know if any of your parents have 50 acres or more, and I don't want to know. But in your minds, you know if you would have been a part of those people who were voting. If you were not, life was cold in the winter. It was hot in the summer. And if you could not make it with your hands or grow it, you didn't own it. So 50% of Williamsburg's population were people of color. In Africa, Africa is a continent. When you visit folk in Africa, you go into the village. And if you go into the village, you are invited to be a part of what is a gathering. We are having a gathering. This is not something that I am going to do alone. We are going to have a gathering. What did I say? We are going to have a gathering. What is the key word in that sentence? We. How many of you like music? Now, we don't have to come from the same place, speak the same language, to appreciate music. In Africa, the rhythm was more important than how well you sound when you sang. And if you were going into the village, you would be welcomed by the people with a song that goes like this. Now, your part is, repeat after me. Say, ashe, ashe. Ashe, ashe. Say, ashe, ashe. Ashe, ashe. Ashe, ashe. Ashe, ashe. Say, ashe, ashe. Ashe, ashe. The song is called Funga Alafia, and it means greetings we bring to you. It is a welcome song. It goes like this. I'll say, Funga Alafia, ashe, ashe. Funga Alafia, ashe, ashe. I'll say Funga Alafia, ashe, ashe. Funga Alafia, ashe, ashe. One more time, Funga Alafia, ashe, ashe. I say Funga Alafia, ashe, ashe. simply means, greetings I bring to you, ashe, ashe. Greetings I bring to you, ashe, ashe. You say ashe, ashe. Ashe, ashe. You say ashe, ashe. Ashe, ashe. I'll say funga alafia. Ashe, ashe. Louder than that, funga alafia. Ashe, ashe. It means greetings I bring to you. Ashe, ashe. That's weak, that's weak. You gotta give me some energy. I say funga alafia. Ashe, ashe. I say funga alafia. Ashe, ashe. That's better. Let's see if you're louder, ladies, than the gentlemen are. You do the ashe, ashes. I'll do the funga alafias. Here we go. I say funga alafia. Ashe, ashe. I say funga alafia. Ashe, ashe. All right, gentlemen, here you go. Here you go. Here you go. I'll say funga alafia. Ashe, ashe. Funga alafia. Ashe, ashe. Oh, that's not bad, ladies. What do you think? Last time. Here we go. One more time. Say funga alafia. Ashe, ashe. Funga alafia. Ashe, ashe. Your turn, funga alafia. Ashe, ashe. Oh, funga alafia. Ashe, ashe. Everybody funga alafia. Ashe, ashe. I say funga alafia. It means greetings we bring to you. Ashe, ashe. It means greetings I bring to you. Ashe, ashe. Very good. Let's see if you can clap. Can you clap and sing? Here we go. Funga alafia. I say funga alafia. I say funga alafia. Funga alafia. Last time, everybody sang funga alafia, ashe, ashe. Last time, I mean it. Everybody, here we go. Funga alafia, ashe, ashe. Funga alafia. Very good. Very good. And stop. Very good. Give yourselves a hand. Very quickly, let me have the ladies on this front row come up. Can I have all of you on the front row? Please come up. Straight line. One beside the other, shoulder to shoulder, please. Move down. Thank you. What is a slave? What is a slave? Give me the definition. Yes, sir. A person, you're on the right, a person who's forced to work, right? That's what you're going to say.
No pay.
With no pay. And
No rights, firm property.
he works for landowners. What makes a person who's a slave different than an indentured servant?
Indentured servant had a
May I have your attention, please? Someone is speaking. What is
indentured servant could get free.
an indentured servant eventually gets his freedom. He works 4 to 7 years. A slave is property. Simple as that. He's bought and sold. Now, let's get this straight. When I'm talking, you should be listening. And let's get this straight. Slavery goes back to the beginning of time. There are no people who have probably not been a slave in some form or another. But in this country, Because of the golden crop, it is an issue of color. When the wealthy Europeans, those who were wealthy, not everybody was wealthy, needed someone to work tobacco fields, they needed a labor force. Who was already here? The Indians. The Indians were here. They tried to enslave the Indians. They knew the land. They were out of there. They knew where to run. They also died because of the diseases. So Indian labor is not successful. What is next?
Africans.
Before Africans, there are indentured servants. They were bringing indentured servants over. May have been some of your ancestors. And they worked for a period of time. White indentured servants ran too. You don't know where to run, but you change your name. Nobody can find you. And they died because they were not accustomed to working tobacco fields. Very labor intense. You have no clue. At the age of 5, children, white and black, had to pick tobacco worms off of leaves. Maybe you would have. In 100 degrees, 10 to 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. So you should have no problem with the chores at home that your parents give you. That's what I said. So, white indentured servants aren't successful. Then they turn to African labor. It had already been going on since the 1400s. African people being enslaved and sent to other places because they survived the conditions. They knew how to do the work. They were easy to find. They didn't know where to run. This program is not to make you sad. It is make you to appreciate the struggles of people who were not always gentry. Ladies, straight line. One beside the other. Put your ankles next to each other, please. One beside the other. On a slave ship coming from Africa going to the West Indies into America, you rode on a boat. It's called loose packing. It's how Dutch and Portuguese ships brought slaves over. They traveled 3 weeks to 3 months, lying on their backs, chained. 27,000 slave ships left Africa from the 1400s to the 1800s. 300 to 500 people on a boat. You go to Africa and pick up people from different places so that they can't speak to each other on the slave ship. This is loose packing. Ladies, please turn to your right. We don't know. I'll write tonight. All right, with someone in between you lying on your side, turn the other way they would be is tight packing. It is how English ships brought most of the slaves over on boats, cleaning them every other week. What are y'all doing? No, what are you doing? Hey, that way!
We are
All right, let's try this again. So lying on your side is tight packing. It is every other person turned the other way. What kind of problems do you think they're going to have on the slave ship? Diseases. What else? Waste, exactly. Where's the bathroom? It's right where you lay. What happens if they eat? What will happen to their food?
They get digested.
Throwing up. Where's it gonna go? If you had a child on the slave ship, the child would be thrown overboard because the child would not survive the voyage. And they bring people between the ages of 15 and 25 years old. What